Hashtag Verse TV week 149. In my mind, part 4. And this is coming from Mr. Ace Metaphor himself.
Yo, it'd be so much easier to leave these toxic people if they was like toxic 24/7. There was no smiles, like no good times, no great sex here and there, no I promise I'm gonna change, I'm gonna do better, no bargaining, no them telling us that we are the best thing that ever happened to them. No, what am I gonna do without you? No, please forgive me. No, for a little bit. Things are perfect. No flowers, no showering with gifts, no roller coaster, no laughs. It'd be so easy to leave a person like that. But it's not that way. 5 days of the week, sometimes they could be the best people in the world, but you got to understand 5 days a week ain't healthy. I need you to be healthy 7 days a week. Abusing me here and there is no longer tolerant. I need zero abuse. And if you can't give me that, I gotta bounce. Period. No matter how. Yo, it'd be so much easier to leave.
Okay. Yep. And.
Yo, it'd be so much easier to leave these.
All right. There's always a little bit of a delay. But that was that topic. And this topic actually had an additional question in addition to the regular in my mind questions. Physical abuse is always an inexcusable no. True. The additional question is it that the person is a toxic person, or is it that the connection that you formed together is what's toxic? Or is it both? You know, I'm a Gemini. And when can you tell? And 3, 2, 1. All right. I am looking forward to this topic. And as I said, physical abuse is always inexcusable, period. Cut the cord, done. Now, ultimately, toxic connection, ultimately, like, is it a toxic connection? Because I don't like the idea of calling somebody a toxic person. I feel that it's a toxic connection between the two of you. I don't like calling a person a toxic person because in my mind, I've received that the same way as calling a kid a bad kid, or calling a dog a bad dog, or a bad cat, or something like that. And maybe if that being, that human, that animal, was in a better environment, or had somebody who was a better connection for them, they would act differently. Now, should you get out of a situation that the bond you all have formed is toxic? Yeah. Okay, I say yeah so easily. If you can't work it out, yeah, you know? And but I don't think that means you should call your friends and say, hey, so and so is toxic. Do not give him a chance. No, because the bond that you formed with him might have created something toxic in your chemistry, but that doesn't necessarily mean it will be something toxic for somebody else. Now, are there troubled people out there who have troubled situations and approach things like a troubled person? Yes, you know, but that also comes down to the a bad dog. It's an issue of connecting with the person in a way that they connect with you. You know, is the person bad for you? Maybe. So move on, you know? but I'm not going to say they're a bad human being. Done. And next is ChrisSEE Marie.
You know, Aaron, just give me a second to collect because I just got distracted. I had like when you said it immediately, like asked the questions immediately, I had like this whole soliloquy, no lie. So now I'm just like I was listening to what you were saying, taking it into account because it's a little bit different than what I would say. In my mind, after hearing geez, I forgot even what physical abuse is always an inexcusable no. Question, is it that the person is a toxic person, or is it the connection you form together that's toxic, or both? When can you tell? That's those aren't really simple questions, even though they're simply asked. Is it that the person is a toxic person? Maybe it could be. I mean, there's so many variables here. With two people who share a dynamic, like it's they create a dynamic together, regardless if they're compatible or not. So, is it that the person is a toxic person? What's considered toxic? Because some people are okay with some things and some people are not okay with some things. So is it toxic that you like a certain type of thing that you really, really, really like and you just can't really continue to be attracted to or connected to this person without? I don't know the answer to that question. I'm just gonna say that's my answer. Whereas the connection that you form together is that toxic? The connection that you form together. I mean, what's considered toxic? Like physical, yeah. Some people like that. Some people like to be spanked and shit. Excuse me, pardon me, YouTube, for saying a crass word. Forgive me. But I'm saying some people like that. Some people like certain things. And that's all goes back to communication. How is it toxic if it's something you like? If it's not something you like, then it's definitely abuse and toxic. So that's my answer. I don't think I should talk anymore.
All right, Mike Henderson.
Well, I would disagree with the part about like comparison like a dog and a child, as whoever you're with is not there to train you or raise you. They're there to be your partner, as equals. I'm not the best person to ask about relationships, but even just like I've had like toxic friendships, or not necessarily physical abuse, but it could be just with the person who maybe is taking advantage of you or something like that. But if you're in a physically abusive relationship, like a true abusive relationship, I don't view that as something that is only caused by the relationship itself. It could be that person is toxic. I seriously doubt if they moved on to the next person with that history, that they're all of a sudden not going to put their hands on that next person. So there's something going on. I think to say that it's the relationship that's toxic, it's kind of is blaming the victim in a sense, because they're 50-50 and it's saying, hey, this person contributed to that particular physical abuse part of the toxicness, for either tolerating it or, being meek or encouraging it, so to speak. Not that it's ever justified, but at the same time, there is something going on with someone who would dare go that route with someone they supposedly love and care about. And really, can you unlearn that once you move on to the next relationship? I doubt it. And if it's known that new person knows about your history, they will rightfully run for the hills, so to speak. So that's all I have to say about it.
Kevin.
As they should. They should keep the Nike strap for real.
Yeah, I guess you could say, in particular, I'm talking about toxic relationships. I do not now, nor have I ever agreed with that. Either side shouldn't be touching the other in a harming way. Like, prime example, and I often go back to this. Back in 2008, a friend of mine back in 2008, she was more or less shot and killed by her baby's father. And that relationship was kind of toxic. I think it started from any type of physical abuse, which I don't agree with either. That should never, ever be tolerated. I don't care if y'all got kids together. And yeah, that's my opinion.
All right. And rounding this out, our final topic, we'll call this the diva section. And this is coming from none other than beautiful, elegant diva.
Well, let me make this perfectly clear.
Yes.
I think seduction has to take place on both parts. Now, if you are coming from the office, oh yeah, I want to be seduced just as much as I enjoy seducing.
One. All right. So for me, starting my timer, I think that